And turning back to politics, the still undecided contest for House control. NBC senior Capitol Hill correspondent Garrett Haake joining me now. Garrett, if the Republicans hit the 218 magic number and win the majority, the focus is going to shift to Kevin McCarthy, who is trying to project strength, but there's some obstacles there from the right wing of his party.
Kevin McCarthy will have a very difficult job ahead of him, essentially a final exam for if he really wants or can earn the job as Speaker, should Republicans have a majority that narrow, Andrea. The bottom line, he'll have to win 2 votes. One, to get the majority of the support of his conference behind closed doors. That's relatively easy. Another on the floor, in which he needs to hit 218. And there are some Republicans, I'm thinking of Matt Gaetz for one, who have said time and time again they will never vote for Kevin McCarthy. And so what can he promise to the people who oppose him? What of his own authority might he have to give away to get to 218? It's a very, very challenging situation to even become Speaker. And then with a majority that narrow, you're essentially dealing with, 200 people who could be like Joe Manchin, who have demands all the time as you're trying to lead that conference. And Andrea, just within the last hour, we've learned that he's not the only Republican that might have some leadership challenges. Mitch McConnell, whose hold on the Republican conference had looked much more secure of late, especially after the lackluster showing of some of Rick Scott's, the sort of Rick Scott NRSC apparatus. Now we've got Marco Rubio tweeting that he thinks Senate leadership elections should be delayed. Josh Hawley agreeing, saying let's at least get past Georgia. It's not clear who a consensus alternative to McConnell would be. But remember, he's someone who is, come January, would be in position to be the longest serving leader in either party's history if he can get reelected. Watch this space. We'll see what exactly is going on with these kind of cracking at the seams here of the Republican conference in both chambers.
Well, 1 second, you've got my attention. Is Marco Rubio trying to be a kingmaker, or is he going to go for it himself? I mean, to challenge the king, you've got to be able to kill the king.
Exactly right, Andrea. I mean, that's the challenge here. Again, simple majority. Somebody's got to be able to get, 50 plus 1 of the Republican conference. Not clear if that's Rubio, his fellow Floridian Rick Scott, or some other consensus candidate. I'm trying to do the back of the napkin whip count. I can't figure out who else could potentially get there, but perhaps Rubio has a plan. We're trying to find out.
This Veterans Day, we're taking a look at the mental and physical health issues veterans face.
The number of homeless veterans and veteran suicides in America have recently dropped, but the numbers are still alarming.
Leo Shane is with us now. He's the deputy editor for the Military Times. Leo, thanks for connecting with us. I can tell you from people who have served in my own family, I know they've suffered with PTSD. I mean, you go back to any major war, and each generation of vets has experienced their own particular health issues. But tell us about what some of the most pressing ones are that veterans are enduring through today.
Right. Well, as you said, veteran suicide is the real major focus right now for the Department of Veterans Affairs. The numbers have come down recently. We're looking at just slightly under 17 vets a day who die by suicide. That marks progress, but it's still an awful big number of individuals we're losing. So Department of Veterans Affairs has tried many new things in recent years, some new initiatives to try and get different approaches. The biggest problem from what I've heard from the Department of Veterans Affairs and from the VA Secretary is that there's just not enough mental health professionals out there. As much as VA wants to address the issue, until we get more mental health professionals in the American healthcare system, there's only so much they can do, and there's only so much outreach they can do.
Well, Leo, just before Veterans Day, the Military Times interviewed Veterans Affairs Secretary Dennis McDonough, and he said he expects to see significant progress when it comes to veteran homelessness and suicide rates in the near future. So how does he plan to accomplish that?
Yeah, I mean, I found that surprising because these are issues the VA has been dealing with for more than a decade, really putting a lot of resource in, and especially in the homeless area, they've seen significant progress. The number of homeless veterans has been cut in half since President Obama in 2010 announced that he wanted to zero out homelessness. But there's still 33,000 homeless veterans on the streets on any given night. It's a real difficult issue. So they've tried a new push this year. They're getting 38,000 veterans housed directly into stable housing. He's hoping that's going to show a significant dent right away. Yeah, I asked him point blank, are these issues that are going to take 30, 40 years to finish? He said, no, I think I think we can see progress in the next few years, but we have to stay focused and we need to keep getting the resources that we have been getting from Congress and from the administration.
And that's a really key question you asked, Leo, because presidents of both parties pledged to improve the conditions for veterans, but it gets stuck in the bureaucracy. What more then does the VA and the federal government need to do to help vets, considering there is that shortage of healthcare professionals and almost a backlog of the vets who need this assistance?
Yeah, one of the things that VA has really been emphasizing in recent years, both in this administration and the previous one, is trying to make these issues a whole of government issue and a whole of government approach. So it's not just VA is working on suicide or VA is working on PTSD. They want to bring in Health and Human Services, Department of Defense, Department of Education, anybody else who has ideas, anyone else has resources, and find a way to make this a larger societal solution. You know, when you're talking about homelessness, it's not just a matter of finding a place to put a veteran. You're talking about, is there affordable housing?
Right.
Do they have health care? Do they have good job prospects afterwards? So they're really trying to emphasize this wraparound approach. You know, easier said than done. The federal government is a large bureaucracy, and getting all of these parts to work together is a difficult task, but they've seen progress in the last few years, and they're hoping to expand on that in the years to come.
Critical that we keep the attention on this issue as well, not just on Veterans Day, but in all the days ahead. Leo Shane with the Military Times, thank you.
Thank you.
And this is a live look at Capitol Hill, where control of Congress remains in the balance. Races in Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia will determine who controls the upper chamber. So CBS News congressional correspondent Scott McFarlane is following the outstanding midterm races for us. Scott, good morning.
We got the B team in, it's time to put the A team in.
After a marathon campaign in which more than $250 million was spent.
Good afternoon, Georgia.
Georgia Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and his Republican challenger Herschel Walker are back on the campaign trail.
We're in overtime. That means we got a runoff. Hey, I was built for this. I was built for this.
You have to admit that I did warn y'all that we might be spending Thanksgiving together.
If Democrats can score victories in Senate races in Nevada and Arizona, they can secure the majority even without Georgia. This morning, vote counting continues in those two close races out west. In Maricopa County, Arizona, election officials say they're working around the clock.
We will be working Friday, we will be working Saturday, and we will be working Sunday to move through these ballots.
Votes are also still being counted in several undecided U.S. House races, though President Biden is already celebrating his party's better-than-predicted showing.
Tuesday was a good day for America, a good day for democracy, and it was a strong night for Democrats.
CBS News projects the House still leans toward GOP control, and California Republican Kevin McCarthy has already announced his bid to be Speaker.
They don't give gavels out by small, medium, and large. They just give you the gavel, and we're going to be able to govern.
And with what might end up being a very slim majority in the U.S. House, McCarthy could face the challenge of needing support from nearly every Republican.
So we'll see if how much Kevin McCarthy, how much arm twisting or how many favors he has to do to get over the top to get his speakership.
So even as they're still counting votes in some races across America, they are counting votes in a different way here in Washington, Anne-Marie and Vlad, as leaders of the parties try to secure top posts when the new Congress takes over in January.
So really quickly, Scott, speaking of those counts, those vote counts that are still outstanding, what's going on with Arizona and Nevada? How long is this going to take?
Well, there are tens of thousands of votes remaining to be counted in those states, and the margins are going to be narrow, so it will take time. There is this vacuum that exists right now, which will be filled by baseless conspiracy theories or unfounded claims of fraud. But the votes counting is going as expected. It is a safe, secure vote. It's a safe, secure count. Maricopa County, Arizona is an epicenter of attention right now because it has tens of thousands of votes remaining. It's a uniquely swing area in some elections. And in Nevada, there is such a narrow margin. What remains could be pivotal, likely going to be measured in days, not hours, till we get firmer results and possible projections.
All right.
Scott, thank you very much. As always, my friend, we appreciate it.
Russia says it's completed its military withdrawal from the key Ukrainian city of Kherson.
Ukrainian officials say Russian forces left behind a, quote, city of death. While Ukraine is not out of the woods yet, the country's military is continuing its counteroffensive to keep pressure on Moscow.
Joining us now with more on this from Odessa, Ukraine, is CBS News foreign correspondent Chris Livesay. Chris, now that Russia is effectively out of Kherson, what are the major concerns moving forward? Because I know that for Ukrainian forces, they weren't sure if to even believe this pullout was happening or to perhaps discover mines left for them to discover later. So what's the biggest challenge now?
Yeah, Errol and Elaine, you're absolutely right. I mean, this has happened so quickly. We're all suffering from whiplash right now. I mean, we knew that this was coming. We knew that the Russians were retreating. They said this was going to happen. And seemingly overnight, actually literally overnight, the Ukrainian forces were moving into the city. In fact, they are there right now. That's been confirmed by local sources and a politician that we spoke to today. He said that they would have moved in even faster if they weren't being stopped so often by local Ukrainian citizens who were thanking them and wanted to wrap their arms around them and thank them. I mean, bear in mind, these are people who've been under Russian occupation for nearly 9 months. So this is the first time they've finally seen their countrymen come in to rescue them. But yes, as you said, they're not out of the woods. The Russian forces leave behind landmines. They leave behind booby traps, and they're not that far away. They're just on the other side of the Dnieper River, less than a mile away. So that's not just within artillery range. That's within gunfire range. So they're definitely not out of the woods, but the Ukrainians certainly feel like they have the upper hand right now, and they continue to push further south towards the Black Sea.
Well, Chris, it seems like something that might be a long way off. Is there any movement on possible peace negotiations between Russia and Ukraine?
Well, now that Ukraine feels like it has the upper hand, they don't feel like they want to negotiate for anything, because not only are they getting back the territory that they had taken away from them when this war began on February 24th, they feel like they might have enough momentum to get back the other territory that was taken away from them all the way back in 2014. So that includes the eastern Donbas region, as well as the Crimean Peninsula, which is just south of here on the Black Sea. So they're in no position right now to say, okay, let's stop and, talk about a peace. Now, things might change, of course, down the road. You have a winter right around the corner. Things are probably going to slow down because of the grueling conditions outdoors. But there's not a single Ukrainian you talk to who will say now is the time to sue for peace. Not until they have what they call territorial integrity restored, which basically means not until the Russians get off their territory.
All right, Chris Livesay in Ukraine for us. Chris, thank you.